Since her first Motorola Razr flip phone, Beth has made a verb out of the word nerd. Beth has been featured on best speaker lists by several organizations, has written a whole shelf of books on apps, and has spoken to more than 100,000 audience members, just like us. Please join me in welcoming the chick who spent recess in middle school grading papers for her teacher, your nerdy best friend, Beth Z.
Oh, go on. Gosh, thanks so much. Welcome. Hi, everyone. This is Beth Z, your nerdy best friend. And today we are going to do a whole bunch of things. We are going to learn all about technology tools that you would use to have the perfect realtor day. But first, let's do a little experiment. I want everybody to stand up. I mean, literally step back and stand up from your desk. I can't see you, but you're going to feel guilty if you don't do it. So everybody standing? Perfect. Now that you're standing, put your hands in the air. Again, I can't see you, but you're going to feel guilty. When I count to 3, I want you to reach for your nearest mobile device, and as soon as you have it in your hand, write "got it" in the chat. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, there we go. There you go. Got it. Look at that. How many seconds did that take? Less than a quarter of one. A lot of y'all had them in your hands already because you're waiting for me to be boring. But the point is, they're right there. Now, I noticed a lot of y'all are writing in. This is perfect. Everybody in the chat, go from panelists to panelists and attendees so we can all see your chat. All right, panelists to panelists and attendees. Got that? Perfect. All right, now got 2 requests for you. Number 1, this is technology. You should have seen us behind the scenes. I mean, we would never tell you what happens behind the scenes, but you should have seen us behind the scenes. Like, we're looking up your nose and you're muted, all that kind of stuff. Technology may go wrong. So please, are y'all with me if technology goes wrong? In the chat, put, "I'm with you." There we go. There we go. Everybody's with us. If anything goes wrong, we'll just roll with it. Second thing is that I'm lonely. Y'all are lonely. We don't see people anymore. So since I can't hear you and see you in the same room, give me some feedback when you hear something you like. Like if you hear of a tool that you're interested in and that resonates with you, write, "Whoa," with a line of O's in the chat. And if you think something is funny, put exclamation points in the chat, just so I'm not so lonely and needy. Okay, perfect. So now we've got some things out of the way. Let's get really started. We had our phones within 7 seconds of a 1/7 of a second of ourselves just a second ago. Ponder this for a second.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
There's a little bit of controversy about whether this is 100% true, but I read it on the internet, so it must be. Common thought says that the devices that are within 0.7 seconds of you right now and probably 30 seconds of you at any given time of day or night, that technology is more powerful than the technology they used to put a man on the moon. So as I talk to you today about all these things, remember you have more power in your pants pocket, this is PG people, than has ever existed in the history of the world for real estate professionals like y'all. This session today is all about a day in the life of a nerdy real estate professional. What would happen if you used technology from the time you woke up to the time you went to bed to make your life so much easier? I know some of y'all are going to take notes like crazy. Here's an easy way to do it. You can text the word nerd to 66866. text the word nerd to 66866, and you get all these handouts plus more. Put in a fake email. I don't care. I'm in therapy for rejection. It doesn't matter. Just make sure you get the handouts that way. Text the word nerd to 66866. I'll repeat it later. All right, the perfect day. You wake up. And in the olden days, you would reach for your phone, which was sitting on your side table, right? But now your phone is in bed with you because you are using the Sleep Time app. The Sleep Time app actually sits on your pillow or sits on your bed and monitors your tossing and turning and helps understand your lighter sleep cycles, so it wakes you up in a lighter sleep cycle rather than when you're deep asleep. Now, if you have, I don't know, a Samsung Galaxy Note 7, don't use those because they catch fire. Instead, you might try something like Alarmy, the world's most annoying alarm clock. Watch this. Did you catch that? You have to set off the alarm and it goes off and you have to go find where you took a picture and match up that picture. You can do challenges like you have to shake the phone 99 times before it'll turn off. You can do all these different things. It's annoying, but helpful. Now, hold on just a second. Here we go. All right, now it is time to get going.
You've got mail.
But of course you've got mail, your first mail of the day. And it's that buyer. It's that buyer you cannot figure out how to make happy in any circumstance. You know the buyer I'm talking about. You read her emails 17 times to try to figure out what subtext is going to make her mad. And you contemplate hours how to write her back or how to call her back or how to respond so that you don't irritate her because you just can't figure out what's going on. Do you have these people? You have these people. So you can use a tool, one of several I am going to talk about today, I call hashtag helpful but creepy. Crystal is a personality tool. What it does is it uses artificial intelligence to scrape things like correspondence and social media profiles and LinkedIn profiles to find out the personality of your clients and associates. And this will help you get into their heads and respond the way they think you ought to. Here is me. I'm enthusiastic, optimistic, and visionary. I'm decisive, forward-thinking, spontaneous, with a natural aversion to rigid structure. Read, she can't hold a job. When speaking to me, use expressive language, use humor. I prefer casual conversation. I'm talkative and friendly, and especially when people let their guard down. I talk with my hands. It says it all right there. The creepy thing is I put my information in there and it picked this personality for me. I resist formality and consider it limiting to my creative expression. I can be stressed when involved in a meticulous task, and I might take nitpicking personally and avoid blunt criticism because it might hurt my feelings. Right? This is pathetic, but it's true. And this tool can read those personalities. Now, the first time you go sign up for it, it's going to ask you all this information and it's going to give you the personality quiz. But once you've signed up, it's $29 a month to monitor people on LinkedIn. You can go to LinkedIn and see their personalities right there on the page with you and how they work well with you or don't work well with you. Now, some of you were like, that's too much. I just think that that's too invasive and it's not something I would use. But here's why I think you might consider it. Have you ever had one of those bosses? You have one of those buyers. You have one of those bosses you just can't make happy. I had a boss who, he was a friend of mine and he hired me for a real job, an honest to goodness job. And I was so excited because he was my friend and it was going to be great. We were going to have parties together and potlucks and all this stuff. And I got there and he wouldn't laugh at my jokes. He would leave in the middle of meetings. And on occasion, he offered me some constructive criticism. And it hurt my feelings. I'm serious. Like, I couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong, why this guy didn't like me. So I left the company. It wasn't because of him, but years later, I looked him up. And this is him. He knows I do this, by the way. This is Troy. He prioritizes achievement, pursues goals. You work for him too, Suzanne says. That's awesome. He pursues goals aggressively and methodically and doesn't like it when someone makes a decision on his behalf. What comes naturally to him? He's comfortable with conflict and enjoys a productive argument. You can count on him to speak up and offer constructive criticism. Don't take it personally when he says something bluntly. I take it personally every time someone says something bluntly. And when speaking to Troy, they say, be blunt and logical, stay on topic, avoid sarcasm and skip the small talk. I'm sorry, that's all I got. So it wasn't that, let me do this one. It wasn't that Troy was, hold on just a second, all my things moved. Hold please. I told you things might go wrong. All right. Let me go find my Troy picture here. He's so adorable. I told you things might go wrong. So in the big picture, it wasn't that I was a bad employee. It's that deep down, Troy is a bad person. And this tool proved it. But what it allowed me to do was understand him. Can you imagine if we had been working together and I had understood those factors? I would have known to try out my jokes on somebody else before he came into the room, make sure I was on task. He would have known to let me joke a little bit, to not give me any kind of criticism because I would break out in tears. And we would have had such a different relationship if only we had gone about that in a different way. All right, now it's time to get going. And again, you've got things coming in your mailbox. This tool I have used a lot during the pandemic. It's called Follow Up Then. Right now in your inbox, you have hundreds of emails that some of them you have to deal with right now, and you're doing that while I'm speaking. And some of these you have to keep an eye on, but you don't need to deal with right now. Well, this tool is called Follow Up Then, and it makes it so much easier to do this. Let me show you how it works. I've used it so much during the pandemic because we lived in San Diego until 2018, and then we moved to Tennessee, and I am all in on all the shows we have here. So we had a lot of different tickets to all these shows, and they kept writing to us and saying it's postponed, is it canceled? And I kept on having to keep them on my list of things to do. But this is one somebody said, I'm going to write you an article, and I needed to keep reminding him, but I didn't want to have that on my to-do list. What Follow Up Then lets you do is take any email and send it to 2 weeks at followupthen.com. And in 2 weeks, guess what? You get an email that looks like that. And do you want to postpone it again, or do you want to keep it going? Do you want to send it out a month, 3 months? And it keeps coming back to you. Now, y'all have snooze on some of your email tools, and that is very helpful as well, but followupthen.com is just cuter. Go figure. All right, now, we've got our first team meeting of the day. You are in these things constantly, yes? All the time you are having these Zoom meetings. My gosh, we're on one right now. And it's exhausting, and it's the same thing over and over again. Oh, I'm sorry, hold on, let me share my screen. Oh, wait, can you see it? Oh, there are some tricks. I just wrote an article about 5 ways to get the slides behind you, including what I'm using right here. But there's an easier way to do that, and this one's my favorite. It's called Prezi Video. Now, y'all know Prezi. It's been around for a long time, right? It's that one that lets you take it's like a PowerPoint equivalent where you scroll in and then it moves around, you scroll out. It kind of made me dizzy, so I never did like the PowerPoint alternative. But I love the video alternative. So let me show you what that one looks like. This is Prezi Video, and I'm going to play a little bit of this. I think I'll mute it. Let's see. Yeah. So here I am. I'll unmute it a little bit. Can't really figure out how they got here today. My name is Beth Z, your nerdy best friend, and I have breaking news. Now, watch the slides go down the page on the side of my head. This is Prezi Video. It is actually a piece of software that you download, and you can import your regular PowerPoints in there. You can just upload pictures. This is great if you want to give an overview of the houses that you're trying to show a certain buyer and put it all together. You can just use words. I love it because my PowerPoints are very complicated. This keeps them simple for me because I just either put in a word or a word and a picture, and it goes. There are all kinds of templates you can use. And it does have a free version. Now they kind of make it hard to use the free version for professionally. So I went ahead and upgraded to a couple of $100 a year, but I find it very helpful because look at that. Look at that. It's a regular Zoom, but now you've got the slides in front of you. You're still engaging. You're not the little box next to the big box, and you're letting that go through. Now it doesn't have animation. You can't put multimedia in there, but you can imagine putting the series of houses there and talking about each one as you're going through some new offerings and just letting them play on the screen rather than you sharing your screen or just, talking over a picture. Very easy and free. All right, so your team meeting, you totally made that amazing, but then you realize that you're tired of these team meetings, right? You keep having these things over and over again, and dang it all, it is just a waste of your time, especially with your team. Now, I have a manager, and she just had a baby, and she has another small child. We no longer are able to meet on meetings. It is very hard because she's always got the kids there, which is fine. She can have as many kids as she wants, but it's tough trying to get together. So we don't do it anymore. We are using, let me make this here. We are using a tool called CoMeet. And this falls under a category of asynchronous meetings. This is kind of a new thing that lets you do, instead of having to set up meetings where you are in those schedules all the time, you can do under 2-minute updates in this rolling update feature. And you can share your updates rather than having to do the meetings. It changes the way you can interact, and then you can write back to people. You can do the quick video back. It was so much easier than trying to coordinate times to meet. Look at all the people loving that. I see all the oohs in there. Remember, if you like it, do the oohs. Woo! That makes me happy. Makes me know you're still there. Now it's time for real work to begin. And bless its heart, email is our favorite tool in the world. And it just keeps coming. We work and we work and work. And as soon as we get it going, the email box fills up again. It's just crazy and so annoying and so hard to deal with. The last time Adobe did a consumer email report, they said that we are spending more than 5 hours a day in email, and that's just too much. So I'm going to give you a couple of tools that'll help you with email. But first, in the chat, I want you to look at your emails, look at that number that says unread emails, and tell me how many emails do you have in your inbox? Unread emails. All right, we got 219, 6,000 plus. Ooh. Let's see, what's the highest number? 74,912. We may have a winner. 74,912 to 82,512. Let's see, it's going really fast now. 82,000. Is that our highest one? None, Thomasina. Inbox 0. Good for you. 82,912. I think I'm going to go with that. The person who is 82,912, I think, just since we're not able to see each other, just know I am helping you. What is your name? Put your name in the chat for me there, the 82,000 person. I'm going to help you. Who is it? Oh, let's see. We have 111,758 from Jeffrey. We're going to go with Jeffrey. All right, 111,758. Jeffrey, you need help, buddy, and I'm going to help you. So, Jeffrey, this is for you and for everybody else. Listen, it takes 11 seconds per email to deal with your unread email, an average of 11 seconds. So if you have 11,912, I forgot exactly, how long will that take you, Jeffrey? So 11,912 times 11, and then divided by 60 and divided by 60. Oh, what has happened? 111912 times 11 equals, and then divided by 60, divided by 60. Jeffrey, it's going to take you 342 hours of your life just to go through your emails. Now listen, I don't know Jeffrey. I haven't met him yet, but I can tell you a couple things about Jeffrey. Number one, Jeffrey doesn't have 111,000 clients who are like, I would like to buy a house from you. Why are you not writing me back? Jeffrey does not have 111,000 friends who are saying, I am having a virtual barbecue and you are not writing back. You have to come. Jeffrey has 11,912 emails or so that he doesn't care for so much that he doesn't even bother deleting. Is that right, Jeffrey? That is the problem. They just get in there and they get clogged up and it just gets overwhelming. So I got a couple of tools for that. Congratulations, Jeffrey. Thank you for volunteering. These two tools have helped me a lot with my email management. Unroll.me is really one of my favorites. And here's what Unroll.me does. There's a difference in the email world between spam and bacon, just like real life. Spam, you know what spam is. Spam is anything you don't want. Whether it's a legislative update you no longer need or a really good offer from a Nigerian prince. Bacon is stuff you want, but you can't have every day because it just clogs everything up. Bacon is that legislative update you do want to read. And it's all of those emails from your kids' schools with all of the updates about what's happening with COVID. You want to read them, but they come in so often and they just end up adding up to 111,912 emails, and they just sit there. So what Unroll.me does is it identifies all of your subscription emails, puts them all in a list the first time you log in and use it. And then the ones you don't want, you just unclick, making marketers cry all over the world, and it unsubscribes you. The other ones you can choose to have come in as regular, or you can say digest them. And in one email, you will get 17 headlines rather than 17 emails. Look at all the people loving on that one. I love it. Spike is very different. So do you have people in your life, you will email them the exact directions and everything they need 6 times and they do not write back, but you text them and within 7 seconds you have an answer, right? Lots of those people in the world. So this next tool is called Spike, and it really addresses our challenges with trying to juggle email on the go. This is really how I operate from my email from my phone. Because my problem with email on my phone is that it's just big, right? I see an email, it's got all the top part, it's got all the bottom part. I have to dig through it to find the one line that says is the one thing I have to respond to, right? And to me, I just wait until I'm sitting down. But with chat, it's called conversational email. And so it looks the same on the other person's end, but on your end, it looks like a text message. It's their note, it's my note, it's their note, it's my note. If you're going back and forth with like your assistant or something, it will make it look like you're just having a conversation. And on her end, my manager and I use this. I use it. She doesn't use it. On her end, it looks like just regular email coming in. But on my end, it looks like I'm texting back and forth. All of a sudden, instead of trying to cut through all those, I'm just flopping back and forth. It also has a lot of other features that I don't even take advantage of, with scheduling, with saving attachments, with all kinds of different things. It's very fast and very easy to use. Now, I still use the free version. The paid version would give me, if I were using it more professionally, the paid version is what I would go with. But it very quickly helps me while I'm on the go, and y'all are always on the go, try to answer those emails like I would a text message rather than having to filter through, find the right spot. What else do I have for y'all here? Okay. Oh, yes. Now you've got another meeting, and guess what? The dogs, they're going crazy right now, right? Is Unroll.me free? Yes, it is. Unroll.me is free. Let me go back to that real quick and make a point. If the product is free, you are the product. And here's how Unroll.me makes money. Have y'all heard about the company called Rakuten? They had a series of commercials saying, how do you pronounce our name? Right? So Rakuten owns Unroll.me and another company. And what they do, called Splice, what they do is they mine information about the receipts that are coming into your inbox and sell purchasing information to other companies. So, for example, if you're using Lyft instead of Uber, Uber was buying information about how often people were using Lyft versus Uber from these companies. So they're aggregating the data from things that are coming in your inbox. So they're analyzing it. If the product is free, you are the product. So you can give up, I'm okay giving up a little privacy to get that convenience. I use Unroll.me for about 2 months a year because after I kind of get a hold of it, I can go ahead and unsubscribe from it again. And then I get it back and forth. But I'm okay with that. Somebody has raised a hand. If we have questions, do we have a question? If you have a question, somebody tried texting 66866 message, it is not available. They're about to cut us off with those short codes. We're supposed to have until June 1st, but the companies are not necessarily doing that. So y'all can go to my site, yournerdybestfriend.com. Wait a minute. It has to do with your provider. Very interesting. I knew it was coming. I'm going to put a link in the. Let's see. Somebody just said, "Hey Beth, continue. We'll do questions at the end. Stop answering questions." So Beth, pay attention. Got it. We'll get you the handouts. Don't worry. So let's go back to this interruption. But first, Unroll.me is free. They are using your info. You decide what you want to do with that. But back to the real work. And gosh, dog it, you've got another meeting and the dogs are going crazy, right? How many of y'all have a 2-bark alarm system every time Amazon delivers something to your house? So this tool is called Crisp. Crisp is fantastic for these on-the-go meetings. What Crisp does is it uses artificial intelligence to block out the sounds of the background noise. Not only for you, but that annoying coworker you have who refuses to silence her adorable baby during your meetings and the kids crying all the time. I mean, we love babies, but come on. Sometimes it's really hard to listen. So Crisp does this automatically. Now, Zoom itself is upping its game with the noise suppression, but it's only one way. Crisp does it both ways. Here is a sample. So here we have, let's say we have a barking dog. Let's see, where did the barking dog go? All right, we have a barking dog. I'm going to play this right here.
If you can, try to show more of yourself. Push your camera back, push your computer back so you can show them.
All right, you heard the dog. Now I'm going to put crisp on, and the red line will disappear.
Those hand gestures. Don't be afraid to just to get into a nice outfit if you must. It also feels a little bit more professional.
Ta-da! Dog gone. Let's try that. Crying baby. First the baby.
To summarize, we all agreed that we need to rewrite the contract.
Baby
And
gone.
with the banks, we'll take a step
Baby?
back and use our own capital instead to buy the remaining shares.
Baby gone.
So Linda, please.
Ta-da! Now Crisp gives you a few minutes every week for free. So this might be really good to start off with and see if you like it. Again, Zoom, if you go into your advanced features of Zoom, you can see some of the new features they have for cutting out background noise. But this one is for both sides. Very, very, very helpful. All right, let me go back to more tools. Oh, here you go. You're trying to work and you get yet another interruption. And this time it's your mom. And she's like, okay, well, I have to go to the doctor today. And I know you can't come with me, but, you know, I'll let you know what they say. Well, guess what? We all have problems understanding what doctors say. When we're going to a doctor, they give us so much information at a time. It's very overwhelming. And especially right now when with COVID, we can't be with all the people we're taking care of at every appointment. This tool is amazing. It's called a bridge. Let me show it to you real quick. What a bridge does, it's a tool you bring into your doctor's office and record the conversation. Then it uses artificial intelligence to analyze that conversation, to tell you all the treatments that were just mentioned, all the technical terms that were just mentioned. It pulls them out. It defines them for you. It talks about medication. You can share that with other people. I'm so sorry this didn't happen a few years ago. My mom had cancer for 8 years. And if you know somebody who has been on one of those roller coasters, you know how much information is piled on. And my sister and I lived far away, and my dad and my mom would go together. And they'd come back from a doctor's appointment and we'd just pepper them with questions like, what kind of cells, what kind of cancer, what kind of treatment, what kind of timeline, blah, 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 blah. The Stress Management Society tells us that during normal times, we can handle about 7 messages coming at us at the same time. During times of stress, it goes down to 3. And if there's a very difficult conversation, you can only remember either the last thing said or the headline, which is cancer, radiation. And that's all they would take from this. So this tool will let you capture that information. Not only that, but it'll also help you identify the drugs they were talking about and find you coupons through a company called GoodRx for those medications. So it totally helps you decipher and get the information you need and share it with people who might need it in your circles. A lot of people like that. A lot of people like that in the chat, I see. Oh, no, it's the morning crisis. And if you get to 11 o'clock in the morning and that's your first crisis, that's not a bad day. But the morning crisis is that you get this note. I actually got this. It seemed like just last summer, but I forgot about 2020. But I actually got this note. It says, your Uber account was used to sign in on the following device. Is this you? From Argentina? No, that wasn't me. So this was a very difficult situation because what was happening is that somebody had my username password combo for my Uber account, which at even this time I hadn't used.
I'm having trouble hearing you.
She's all upset with me. I hadn't used this account in like 3 years, and here somebody was trying to break in. So I knew this was false. But I'm okay. You are okay because you are using a password management tool. LastPass is a password management tool that lets you take one giant password that locks up a vault where all your other passwords live. And that means you can generate unique, unguessable passwords for every single site you visit. Let me say that again. Write this down. If you take nothing else from this session, understand that you need to have a unique, unguessable password for every single site you visit. Period. This is not negotiable in 2021. Period. You cannot reuse passwords, because what the bad guys do is they get the username password combos and try it all over the place. Now, LastPass was the favorite for many years, but apparently they want to start making more money. So they just created a restriction to their free version that made a lot of people mad. Now you can just do it on your phone, or you can just do it on the computer. And Nancy Quigg has the exact answer. It's Bitwarden is the one that a lot of people have gone to. Let me show you real quick. Bitwarden is the one that a lot of people have gone to after LastPass. It has the same basic free features as LastPass did. Now, let me tell you though, LastPass is $3 a month. So even if you have to pay $3 a month, it's not so bad. There are several of the ones that are the best in the chat. See if you can tell me some that you like. We've got LastPass, we've got Dashlane, Bitwarden is now a player. The number one password. Any of these will be okay. Let me show you the danger of this. I'm going to go to a site. I need another volunteer. Somebody give me an email address. Let's see. Somebody give me an email address that you've been using for a long, long, long time. Do we have any AOLs out there? Do we have any Hotmails? Let's see. I got one right here. Biscuit Joe. Now I'm going to put it in here and click Have I Been Pwned? What this site does is it checks with known dark web data deposits of information to find out if you're in there. So let me go Pwned. And Biscuit Joe 101. Oh no! You have been involved in 5 data breaches. 5 data breaches, which is, I've been involved in 26 with one of my worst emails. But here's where they were. So Modern Business Solutions was one in October 2016. Dates of birth, email addresses, genders, IP addresses, job titles, physical addresses. River Media spam lists. These are things that somebody had collected about you and you have no control over. So, here's a new one that I hadn't seen before. Straffic. In February 2020, Israeli marketing company Straffic exposed a database with 140 gigabytes of personal data. That was email addresses, genders, names, phone numbers, physical addresses. Ticketfly, and then verifications.io. Somebody give me another one. And we'll check one more. Give me an AOL. Somebody's got an AOL. All right, here we've got a Gmail. Let's see. See if that is gone. But every time somebody gets pwned and it gets those username password combos, they put them in a giant database that is checked in a nanosecond, and just throws them all in there and finds out of that. So you've got 9. Let's see. I'm going to go Kiki Goodman. All right, let's do that one. Oh, let me try that again. Copy. All right, and then we have only 2. Congratulations. Good job. Now here's another area you can check. So that is the main site for your emails, but you can also check your passwords. And if you want to, you can read all the fine print why this site has been green lighted. It's called Have I Been Pwned, PWNED.com. You can read all the fine print. I've been using it for many years, and this is stuff that is actually publicly available. So I have this email or this password that I used to use all the time because I thought it was very clever and nobody else would use it. And I click that and it says, oh no, 360 times before. And as soon as you start using that with the regular email, you get things like this. And this is not funny, but it's funny. You get emails that say, I know what your email address is. I'm writing you there. And your password is this. And here's what I have done. I have installed software on your computer that records you while you are watching porn. And if you don't give me this much money in Bitcoin, I am going to send this to all of your contacts because I have all those too, right? And you're like, I don't watch porn on this computer. And so you click on it because who the heck is lying to you about watching porn? Well, guess what? Not only do people believe that they have been and pay the ransom, but as soon as you click on that link, when you're going to look to see and be outraged that they even said such a thing about you, that is also malware. So they get you all kinds of different ways with those kind of blackmail schemes. So if you have username and password combos that you've been using for a long time, those are the kind of dangers that you can have. I see a couple of questions. We're going to save them closer to the end because I am going until 15 minutes after. Is that correct? Somebody pipe up and tell me. Or 12 minutes after or 10 minutes after?
12 minutes is good.
12 minutes is good. All right, perfect. So at about 8 minutes till I'll make sure I get those questions answered. All right. So that is LastPass, and there is Have I Been Pwned? And someone says they have a list of questions going for me, so we are good. Hey, I have been talking a whole bunch here. I would rather hear from some of y'all. So before I get to the next section, let's do a really quick little question thing I like to call the 20-second challenge. Hold, please. Hello, folks. I am over here at the big board. Hello, nice to see you. What we're going to do is look at the big board right here, and I am going to roll the big board, and whatever comes up, you're going to have 20 seconds to put your answers in the chat. And then when I finish with a couple of these, I'm going to go back and look at the chat, and we can figure out how smart y'all are and all the things you're sharing. All right, you ready? Oh, cool, perfect. The tool that helps me be most productive is what, because, why. Fill in the blanks, write that in the chat, share with your colleagues. I'm going to give you 20 seconds. Go. Perfect. All right, let's do another one. If you haven't finished, just keep on adding those. What tool helps you be most productive? All right, let's see. Oh, check to see if you have been pwned on haveibeenpwned.com. If you already did it while we were doing that, then check your family members. You may be aware of some of the things that are going on, but do your parents know not to use their username and password combo? Check some emails. So you have 20 seconds to check a couple. Write what you find in the chat. Go. haveibeenpwned.com. All right. Hope some of y'all were able to find out if you have been pwned and get that information. You need to have a unique, unguessable password for every single site you visit. Not sure if I ever mentioned that more than 17 times yet. All right, one more. Oh, this is a great one. You need to know how fast your internet speed is because you need to know if it's your problem or their problem. Go to fast.com, fast.com, and as soon as you get there, it's going to test your internet speed. And then go to advanced and it'll check your upload and your download speeds. Go. Come back and put what your speeds are. am going to head back over there and we are going to talk about all the things we found. So hold, please. Hey, welcome back. Let me see. I'm going to scroll up here to some of these answers because I really want to see what your best productivity tools are that you're sharing with each other. I really hope you come back and look at some of these things. We've got CRM, the smartphones. A lot of people the smartphone is everything for them. An agenda that keeps me focused. Anybody have any specifics, like which CRM are you using? What kind of phone what kind of phone are you using? Have you found to be the best? What kind of calendar? What kind of, there's to-do list. Eric mentioned something very specific. Perfect. Trello, excellent tool for project management and personal technology, or personal task management. Pen and paper. There you go. Crisp. Yep. You've got a great new idea for new tools. KRISP. That's the one that cuts out the background noise. Excellent. All right. So if you have some more to add, unroll.me. Excellent. If you have some more to add to these tools so that everybody has the best one, dot loop. Excellent is always great for real estate professionals. Let's see. A lot of people have been pwned some. Now let's look at your megabytes per second on your speed. Jolene, you have a 4.3. That was 1997 calling. They want their internet back. Kirsten, you have a 1.7. If you are under 25, you're going to have real problems with communicating with video. You want to have over a 25. Right now, I have a 600, 700 connection here. On my phone on the road, I get a 25 to a 60. You need to make that a priority to figure out how to get better internet connections. There are all kinds of factors that go into it. But if your numbers are low, you're going to struggle with being able to communicate with people online, and you are not going to be able to present your best self in video meetings, which are going to be a part of our world for a long time. All right, look at all those things that y'all are adding. Excellent, excellent. I love that you're adding specific tools that you're sharing with each other. Okie doke. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh, now it's time for self-care, right? So stressful. We almost got hacked. Now we can sit down and relax. Are you kidding me? We can't sit down and relax. This is what self-care looks like for us. We can take a bath and check our email at the same time. No. Self-care is not an indulgence in 2021. Self-care is necessary for helping you keep your stuff together. This is the most stressful our lives have been in our entire world. And we're going through it as a globe. You need to practice self-care. Even if you think that self-care is sitting on a pillow doing this, you need to figure out what self-care means to you. And I want to share these tools with you. Intellect and Wobot. Very, very sad names. Intellect and Wobot. But they are free. Let me show you. These are free tools that will let you, well, actually, Intellect now has a price to it. But they are tools that use cognitive behavioral therapy to help you with anxiety, to help you with circular thinking, to help you get out of a rut, to help you get out of the problems you're having that keep you from getting work done. There have been a number of studies about what has been happening during COVID to our mental health. None of it good, people. None of it good. And we need to take care of ourselves as a part of our business, not as a part of our indulgence. This is a necessity. So doing Wobot or Intellect.co. Intellect.co just won app of the year from, I think, Google last year. It won an award from Google, and Wobot has won several awards. I know, the name's pretty silly, but it's one that can help you with getting your head together. Now it's time for lunch. Lunch. You get so much relaxation at lunch, right? But then, does this look familiar? Your son is coming home from school. It's a half day, and you're just like, this. Does that look familiar? Indeed. Now, during the pandemic, during the shutdown, we have all been kind of in much smaller circles, but now things are starting to open up. And this tool, we don't like to call it a stalking tool, but that's what it is. It's called Life 360. And Life 360 lets you figure out where your kids are and people you love are. And then it also tells you where they are, where they aren't, how fast they're going in a car, and how that car is braking. And this will help you keep track. Anybody using Life 360? Your kids disconnected? I can't help you with that one. But sometimes you're like, who pays for it? That's who gets to disconnect it. But sometimes you can't do that. So this is a tool that a lot of people have found very helpful. I track my husband with Find My Phone because we're all connected. But here is something that I didn't know. So he sometimes goes camping and he's a cyclist and things like that. And I don't know where he is. So I'll note that he's like, I don't know, at a bar or whatever, an hour away, getting lunch or something like that. And I'll put a notice that says, let me know when he leaves there, because then I'll go to clean up the house or something like that. But now Apple will tell him that I asked to know when he's leaving. So that's not very nice. Try to spy on somebody and somebody says, well, that's not a good thing. Now at lunch, you're like, oh my gosh, I have to put up some social media stuff, right? So this tool is fantastic. It's called Lumen 5. And we don't have a lot of time for me to show you this, but I'm going to just show it to you for just a second. Let me pop over here. So here is an article that I ran across it was linked to from NAR. It was 10 best kept secrets for selling your home. And it's a wonderful top 10 list of tips. Well, this is wonderful. It was written, I'd love to share it, but how often are people coming in here and reading all of these steps? Well, this tool is called Lumen 5, and Lumen 5 is fantastic. We can paste a link to a blog post. Then it uses artificial intelligence to create a video that I call a BuzzFeed type video, with the words at the bottom. And most of the time it does really well. Now, I do a whole other session on how to create tools for social media and marketing. But so I don't have time to go into all of it here, but let me show you what it made. That was it. In a couple of seconds, you had that. Now we have, somebody says Donna is the queen and we love Lumen 5. If anybody else has a Lumen 5 video that you want to share and show people how easy it is, that would be wonderful. All right, let me see here. I am going to pick and choose some of the ones that we should look at here. Hold on just a second. Now you're working away, and time is just going crazy. I mean, what is happening with our world? That's because you are not getting a hold of your time, and you need to do that. I use two different techniques. Both of them are psychological, but I have a tool that will use both. The Pomodoro technique. Here's what the Pomodoro technique is. There was a guy in Italy who had a kitchen timer shaped like a tomato, which is Pomodoro in Italian. So he had this kitchen timer shaped like a tomato, and he would set it for 25 minutes. Then he would go into a Pomodoro with one task for 25 minutes. One. He would not just say, I'm going to work for 25 minutes. He would say, I am going to put together the list of projects I need to do for flipping this one house, whatever. I'm going to work on that list for this 25 minutes. Then at the end of the 25 minutes, the alarm would go off and he could do other things. During that 25 minutes, he would not answer a phone. He would not go to the restroom. If the dog was barking, he would let it bark. He would not let himself get interrupted for that 25 minutes doing that one task. It changed his life. Another thing that you can use is what we call time blocking. So the concept here is that, let's say you have a calendar that's wonderfully clear. And as time goes on, your calendar starts filling up with meetings and starts filling up with more meetings. And you were like, I had all this time to do things, but by the time you are at the end of the month or the end of the week, every single spot that you haven't filled is now meetings. So time blocking says you hold on to those meetings, you put them on, and you choose when you want to do things so that you don't have to share that time with other people, because otherwise other people are going to be in there. So you are using, there's a tool called Hold X, which is fairly new. That'll help you with that. But you have blocked this time on your calendar for thank you notes and made it so that you have put aside that time to do thank you notes. So I have all kinds of other things in this PowerPoint. I put extra stuff in here because I want y'all to have all the resources. I'm going to move toward the end of the day, and we've got to feel grateful. We have had a fantastic day. We've had a fantastic career. Our lives are much better than a lot of people's we know. And or even we may have our complications, but we can always find something to feel grateful for. There is scientific proof that feeling grateful and showing gratitude will help you. So when we get off this call, no, let's do it right now. I've got a couple minutes. I want to do this right now. Everybody pick up your phone and find somebody on your list you need to thank. And we're going to take 1 minute to text somebody out of the blue and just thank them for something they've done and give that moment of gratitude. If you don't want to do that, I do have this wonderful advertisement for some really cutting edge technology from a couple of years ago. It's 1 minute long. Go.
Charges, receipts, invoices, statements, taxes, budgets, paperwork, pollution. There's just no getting around it. Okay then, get through it. Now from Sharp, maker of the world's most complete line of electronic calculators, the LC8, world's smallest electronic calculator by Sharp, price tag to match. Works anywhere on battery or plug-in. LC8, small, fast, silent, ends paperwork pollution. LC8, world's smallest electronic calculator by Sharp. Price tag to match. $345. Complete. See it.
Only $345. So you probably had enough time to text somebody and get the response back like, what's wrong with you? Are you okay? But if you do this every day, you can look, there are scientific studies that have proven that having an attitude of gratitude and practicing it every single day will improve your personality, improve your business, improve your likability, all of these different areas to help you. And you don't even need much technology to do it. All right, so now it is close to the end of the day, and what a day it has been. Using technology, you have done alarms and sleep monitoring, maps and directions, email, scheduling, collaboration, communication, outsourcing, workouts, automation, security, online meetings, mental health, graphics, and multimedia. And you are leaving your office when creepy guy is in the parking lot. Now, some of the gentlemen on this call don't know what I'm talking about, but a lot of the women we know what we mean when we say creepy guy is in the parking lot, right? Somebody you're feeling uncomfortable with. You're having an open house and somebody walks in and you're just not comfortable. A realtor actually told me about this tool. It's called Noonlight, and it's very simple. You open Noonlight and put your thumb on there, and you can even talk to creepy guy, like, oh, okay, hi. When you're feeling uncomfortable, you keep your thumb on there. When you are done, you take your thumb off. You have 10 seconds to put in a code. If you don't put in the code, the police are notified of your location and your information. And you can even hook it up with your smart speaker so that if you are at home, you can say, tell my smart speaker I need help, and they will summon emergency services. That's what we did for our mother-in-law. It was made by college students for college students originally, but now it's much bigger. They cost, I think, $10 a month now. And they do have a free version, but I hope you never need it, but it's nice to have it if you do. Now, it's the very end of the day. You're setting down to watch, 10, 12 episodes of Fargo. And again, the phone rings. Oh, and it's Christine. She says, oh, I am so excited. We have all kinds of new things. We want to have as many good speakers as we can next year, and you are on the committee. And I know it's a little bit early, but could you watch 16 hours of speaker demo reels for me this weekend so that we can get started on that? And here is the best tool I can give you. It is the ability to say no. And I actually have a website where you can say no all kinds of ways. So you can go to this site and go,
sorry, my mom says no.
No, just no. Really?
Let me think it over. Well, no. Yeah, I don't think so.
all right, I have a big finish, but do we have a couple of questions first?
Hi, Beth. Yes, we do have a few questions. My name is Danielle. I'm the Director of Education here. So I'm just going to go ahead and I am going to ask you a couple questions from the chat. The first one is, I believe it was relating to the Rakuten program. If it's the paid version, is it also using your information?
Rakuten does not have a paid version. Rakuten is 100% free, and they have a big disclaimer. They say, here's how we use your information. It's your choice if you want to do it, but they do not have a free version.
Perfect.
A paid version.
Thank you. The second question is, will you be posting the links of these different resources so that agents can find them online?
I'm going to do that right now.
Fabulous.
And if you go to my website, if you want to be on my newsletter, because the short code thing, if y'all use it, it is going away. And this was the first time I think they're starting to shut it off. I was hoping it would still work because they've been threatening it for 3 years. So if you want to be on my newsletter, just go to my website and you can sign up there.
Wow. Third question, and this was when you were speaking about the Pwned program. Can we all check our email addresses? I'm not sure what that means.
Can you check all of your email addresses? Yep. And can you check all your passwords? Yep. So you can just keep plugging them in there and seeing what's going on. And it is publicly available in the dark web, but it's publicly available information. They're just looking at the databases they have unearthed that are available to the bad guys. That's what those are.
Perfect. 2 more questions. What do you do if you have been pwned?
If you have been pwned, you need to change. If you have a unique, unguessable password for every single site you visit, you just change that password and you're fine if it's that one area. If you are using and reusing passwords, you need to go and redo all the ones that could possibly have a duplicate password, because that's where they're getting you in trouble, right? You can always change your password for that one, but once they have that username password combo from the one, they throw it into these really cheap setups or these software that a lot of, for like less than $40, you can have all kinds of havoc wreaking stuff that use those username password combos. So I just posted, somebody just asked, I just posted the link to the handouts.
Perfect. And then the last question from the chat that I have is, do you have to pay for Lumen 5?
Lumen 5 does have a free version. I do pay for it. I'm kind of grandfathered in with some pricing, but I do pay for it.
Perfect. All right. Well, Donna L says the free version is good. That is all of the questions I have for you. So I will let you wrap it up, and then back to Andy.
All right. I will do my my big finish. I'm ready. Ready?
Our nerdy time is through, but Beth Z is always here for you. Your nerdy best friend.com.
Oh, go on. Thank y'all so much.